tell me a little bit about yourself. Tia, where were you born and raised?
I was actually born in Fresno, California, but raised in Washington, more in the Snohomish County area, Linwood, Mountain Terrace, kind of like that.
And how long did you stay in Fresno?
I was only there until I was 2 years old, I think, 2 or 3.
What was your home life like growing up?
I had my stepdad and my mom and another sibling, but I didn't get along with my sibling at all. I was real close to my dad, but my family fell apart when I was 14.
Were you close to your stepdad or biological?
My stepdad. I didn't know much about my biological father. But I was in Girl Scouts for 10 years, but once I hit 14, just everything went to shit.
Why? Why 14?
Caught my older sibling molesting another child, and my mom took his side, was like, oh, it's okay. My stepdad left, and just went downhill from there.
So, in that, when you were 14, those things happened?
Yeah.
Your older brother, I assume?
Yeah.
And your stepdad left at that time?
For a brief moment, but my mom pulled my brother back home.
Gotcha. And how did that affect you?
Oh, I hated it. I started doing drugs and drinking. Didn't do so well in school. Had a suicide attempt.
What was the feeling or emotion if you looked back at a 14-year-old Tia that you saw?
A scared child who didn't know what the hell to do. Thought she was doing the right thing, but everything blew up in my face and just made it seem like I did the wrong thing, kind of thing. So nowadays I hold the grudge against my mom because of the situation, and she just wants to put the past in the past, and it's like, sorry, that's not that easy.
Let's see, when you're 14, what is that, 9th grade, 8th grade?
I think it's 9th grade.
Maybe 9th grade? So were you in high school, enrolled in high school?
Yeah, I was freshman year in high school, that's right.
That's right. And did you finish high school, keep going?
I wound up dropping out of high school in 11th grade.
And when you dropped out, where did life take you?
I left home. I wound up moving in with my ex-fiance and was with him for like a year and a half, and then a little while later I wound up at a strip club. Well, kicking in there turned into working there, which was kind of a norm for me because my mom was a dancer for over 20 years, so it kind of just seemed regular. Well, that led to more jail time, but I wound up getting pregnant with my child, and it was cool. It was awesome, you know. Someone loved me, someone cared for me, and unconditionally. And then at 3.5 months old, my parents took her away, and it's like, that's a bitch kind of thing. It's like I asked them for help, and their help was taking her away and giving me guardianship papers.
I have 2 little girls, and they're the world to me. So I can't fathom. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Let's see, how old were you when you had your...
I was 20.
Daughter or son?
She was born my daughter. Now she's transgender, I guess, and wants to be my son, but we don't get along at all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but I'm curious, so when you're 20, you have your child, how do your parents, just take her? That's not their right, correct?
Right.
How does that happen?
They picked her up for the weekend because, I wanted to stop drinking, I wanted to clean up and everything, and I had my own apartment. We had our own place. I thought I was doing the right thing, but they just didn't see things in the same opinion as I did, and my current stepdad has a lot more power than I could ever go against in court. I've got an extensive criminal record, I've got medical records that would go against me, and just those 2 things alone, I knew I could never win in court. I just know that. So I gave up. I still saw her for a real long time, and then I just never got along with my parents, and we wound up getting a really bad fight, and my husband and I just said that's enough. and walked away.
Gotcha. Yeah, he just tired you out, sounds like, or something. Yeah. So, man,
my life is the worst country song in the world.
Yeah.
Like, even just the last 3 years, I mean, I lost my husband, I lost my tiny home, both my dogs have been stolen, I lost my possessions.
So how long were you with your husband?
I was with him for 14 years.
And tell me about when you say you lost him.
He killed himself, and I found him 5 days later.
I'm sorry. And you guys were housed at that time?
Yeah, we were at the, I'm sorry. We were at the Georgetown Tiny Home Village, and I left to come out to Ballard. I would do that 1 week here, 1 week there, 1 week here, and he waited for me to leave and then set our house on fire. Thankfully, ironically enough, he lit enough fires to where they choked themselves out, so his cause of death was was smoke inhalation with acute drug intoxication. So I came home and couldn't get the door open, and grabbed my neighbor, and he couldn't get open, so I flew through the back window and ripped the door open and just collapsed. I don't remember the next hour from that, but I guess I was screaming and yelling at him. The village.
How long ago did this happen when he died?
It'd be 2 years on February 5th.
Yeah, it's not that long. Yeah. And that was in Georgetown?
Yep.
So after that, what are your options?
The staff there removed me from the home and placed me in another home in the same location, but at the same time they offered me housing, like actual housing, but I wasn't in the right state of mind to go anywhere, let alone be even more secluded from people. So I said no.
Yeah.
And they used that against me. Like, I wound up getting kicked out after 22 months of being there. They kicked me out because they said that I threatened to burn someone's house down. Given the way my husband died, that's not something I'm ever going to say. It's not something, no. And also because of a resolved issue, I threatened someone with bear mace because he was assaulting me while taking my property. Well, they put it as I was in the wrong. It's like, what? Okay. And
that I'm curious, because you got me thinking about what it's like to kind of live. I have no idea, but what's the culture like living in those tiny homes?
in that tiny home,
Or
you
I
know,
guess, yeah, they're all different.
Yeah, they are. We moved there because it was told to us it was a safe use site. We could do our drugs or drink as long as we did it within our home. And that was fine, you know. It gave us a chance to, you know, get sober on our own terms, but while having the help that we needed.
Yeah.
Plus, my husband had just had open heart surgery. It was the best place for him to be. They had medical care coming in a couple of days a week, and they came to him. He didn't have to go anywhere. They helped him get better, but he didn't get better.
Curious, was there a time when you guys were like, let's get healthy, let's figure this out?
One more time?
Was there a time when you guys thought, like, let's get healthy? And
a few weeks before he died,
yeah,
we got in a bad fight. Like, we were talking in bed after a movie, and we look at each other and he just tells me, he's like, babe, I love you, but I'm dying. And I'm like, no. And we wound up crying, holding each other's arms, and we woke up and it's like, you know, okay, I'll get better, you know, do whatever I can. Because the doctors told him he had a 10% chance of survival in 6 weeks because of his heart.
Right.
And I didn't want to lose him in 6 weeks, even though I did. After I lost him, I just don't care. don't care about anything anymore.
Well, tell me about your child.
I don't know anything about her.
And are they with your grandparents? Or your parents, I should say?
My parents, yeah.
They're still with your parents?
Yep.
Living in what part of town?
Marysville, I think. The last message I got from her was extremely rude and disrespectful, saying that I need to relinquish my rights so she can have hormone therapy, and she's transgender and I need to accept that, and it's just like, just so mean and vulgar, and it's like, why don't you try being nice to me? And then maybe we could talk.
Yeah.
She don't want to do that. And it's like, well, fine. Then you're not going to talk to me.
Yeah, my guess is that possibly that person, your child, has a lot of hurt happening, and it comes out in these ways as anger. I don't know. It's my guess. Which causes
a lot of emotions going through that child. I wish I could be there to help her, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still time. You never know.
Yeah, but I'm not going to talk to someone who's just going to disrespect me and belittle me.
Yeah, you do have to have boundaries. I get that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Tia, let's talk about your current situation. Where are you at now?
I float around on the streets. I thought I had a caseworker to get me back into a tiny home, but can't get a hold of them. Several people have tried finding out what's going on with the tiny homes, because I was also told that I'd be able to go back in after 90 days. Well, that's been a long time now. It's been well over 90 days. But nobody gets back to me. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to look into it for you. We're going to do this, that, and the other. Oh, but we're going to disappear after we say this. So I have no idea. I would much rather be in a tiny home than out here.
Yeah.
I mean, some days are fun, some days are stressful, other days are bullshit.
You're in a tent over here?
I don't even have a tent.
Oh. Where did you sleep last night?
At the tables over at the burger joint.
I should say quote-unquote sleep. My guess
Yeah.
is you're not really sleeping. Oh, man. Tia, is there something that you'd want the people of Seattle to know?
We all have a story. Don't just treat us like the scum on your shoes. Give us all a chance. That's all most of us just want, is a chance.
Thanks for sharing part of your story. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm going to grab that mic. Are you open for a hug?
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry.